So, good evening, guys, and welcome to OTL Season 3, Round 17 Mexico, and a night that could be very, very special. We'll get onto that in just a little bit. We are joined, as always, with our man, the man of the numbers, Mr. Jensen. How are we, sir?
Great, yes.
So, as I was saying, we are set for maybe something very special. Mike's title is on the line. You are the man with the rundown. I'm not very good with the statistics, so I will let you speak it out.
So, Mr. Rage is the only man left in this championship fight against Mike, and this is how it's going to work. Mr. Rage, he has to score 19 points or more today to keep it alive, and this is if Mike does not score. And Mike only needs to score 16 points minimum to win the championship.
So P4 or better
with a yeah
for Mike, or
I think it's P5 or better for Mike, and that's if Mr. Rage gets maximum points. So both driver of the day points from us, pole and the fastest lap and the win, which is heavily unlikely of the driver of the day, but it's still a possibility, so it is taken into account. But yeah, it's a minimum P4 I think for Mr. Rage.
So that's how it is. Mexico, the track, it's actually a track that's actually named quite a lot of champions, not just in game but in real term. So it's rather fitting that it could come to here. And of course, Mike will be out there fighting as always, with his bottle hopefully firmly in his pocket. But I am sure we will be set for another absolute classic. Don't even remember how many laps, and I'm trying to think of things to say. I've had a brain
26.
blank literally just before I start comms, which is never a good thing. Good evening, Mike and Mikey. Mike says him and his Latino woman are going to have a party, so she's going to make you some food and you're going to sit in the corner and enjoy it. Something like that.
So yeah, this will be Mike's first ever league racing championship as well. After the 3 years he's been doing it. I mean, he's come close many times before with me, and of course nearly last season.
I'm sure when I won my first title as well, Mike was one of the men that challenged myself.
Yeah, he's definitely been challenging me as well over the years. He's been challenging a lot of people. Many people have been challenging him. Been a bit unlucky sometimes, but this season has been his season. You just have to look at how it's gone now. He's got 378 points to Mr. Rage's 258. And they might both be battling for the championship, the Drivers' Championship, but they've still got a Constructors' Championship to battle for, because they are only 43 points behind Alfa Romeo, who lead at the moment, with F. Lewis and Pedro.
Oh, 1 second. I'm back, sorry sir. So, strategy for this evening, Jensen. It's most definitely a one-stop. I know Mexico pretty well myself.
It's a one-stop is possible, but a two-stop is very competitive as well in terms of pace. I think the two-stop, you could really challenge the one-stop as well, I think.
And I think the two-stop, in the tracks where the two-stop comes into play, and on Monday night, there's quite a few drivers that like to try it. They're definitely not shy of the two-stop.
The only time the one-stop would work, where it would be quicker than the two-stop, would be going from medium start to the softs.
Then drag the mediums out late.
Yep. But we got Jamie Enright and Walker returning to the grid after, I think, a couple of weeks absence for them both. But they are back, and I think Jamie Enright's the first driver to start a lap.
He is.
And if Mike takes pole as well, that takes away 1 point, and Mr. Age would have to get a minimum podium at that point.
So Mike
Really
probably going to be
swings
looking for the pole. Jamie using all of the curbs in the first couple of chicanes. They're exactly what you've got to do to maximise the lap time. I think he's going to set a reasonably competitive sector 1 here, 28.5s, not too bad at all.
Yeah, not too bad on the mediums. Taking very close lines here. If you really want to take a tight line, you don't want to go too wide. You could use a lot of lap time going any bit wide, and you go into the middle sector. And this is invalidated. It's a very tricky middle sector.
None of that to Mr. Jamie. Use the track properly, please, sir. If you're watching.
Oh, there's no more. There's no more.
Mataman on a lap. Oh no, he's not a lead man. Who's a lead man on this lap at
Michael.
the moment?
He's on the softs.
Mike on the super softs.
Oh,
no,
that might be him out of qualifying already. Is he gonna? Oh, he's very lucky.
Oh no, oh yeah, he's still going. I think he managed to get with that with no damage. I think he hit the wall wheel
He
on,
may
and
have
that was
got a
a
little
big
bit of
moment.
minor damage that I think he'll take to the pits. But he's already tested the limits. Is Mike? And yeah, he's got
Very much so. Jamie going for another blast on his medium compound tyre.
Yeah, you could get 2 runs on these tyres.
Oh,
He's spun out of
the
turn
car.
3.
So SPW set the
Sorry,
bench time so far on the soft compound on a 117 flat. We've got Mataman in the final sector at the moment on the medium compound, so I think he's going to be the first man to get a representative time on that medium compound tyre. How representative is
It's
it?
going to be a 17.
That's a solid lap there from Matt. 17.4.
Now Green Fingers, he's coming up and he's matching Mataman through the middle sector. He's on the soft. Can he get up there? I think soft in the final sector should be pretty good.
Takes a lot of the last curve there.
Remove heat.
Stays
And
nice
here
and
we go.
tight.
Yeah, it's going to take 2v2.
Fingers looking very competitive this evening so far. The fact if he's setting the bank laps in at the same time as the SPW and the Matamans, I think he could be right up there today.
We're going to
Which is
see
good
a
to see.
pole time at least 2 seconds quicker than that though, I think.
Where is Mr. Rage? Mr. Rage opening a lap on his medium compound tyre. Championship challenger.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got. Into turn
Very,
1.
yeah.
No, sorry, sir.
He's got a very minimal chance of this, but I think it's still going to go out. But it's like you said. And it's a pretty good set to 1 for him though. He took that pretty nicely on the mediums. And set to 1 a 0.5. Going to be a decent.
So very
below
on par
0.5, I
with
think.
Jamie there. On his first sector. I think he was a 28.5 as well, so SPW looking to have some pace.
This is where everyone's losing their laps.
It's not even
This middle
SPW, it's
sector
Mr.
section
Rage.
here. And Mr. Rage, let's see how he takes this. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty nice there. It wasn't on the limit, but he did that pretty well.
Conservative on the medium, I think, is smart. Fingers now, we are 16.7 on the
Wow.
soft compound tyre in the second run, Jensen, so he's
I think
definitely
Mr.
got
Rage,
some time.
he might be on a 16 dead, I think this is going to be. 16 dead.
Stop it, Jensen. We've got Pedro now.
You
on
just
a
have to
lap
look at the
as well.
sector 2.
Oh, and he drops the lap.
I compare it to my own times, to be honest. These lap times, but yeah. Unfortunately,
yep.
he loses the lap straight away.
See, I don't pay that much time to my sector times because once it's red, I get really annoyed at myself and I don't want to look at it.
And here comes Ranger.
Yeah, on board with him now as we speak. He's
Showed some
been
good
reasonably
pace this
competitive, yes. It's interesting if he can put himself right up there this time. He's going to have some traffic in his way though. 28.6 sector 1, so he's a tenth off at Range's pace. But he's there or thereabouts. soft tyre will come back to him and give him some lap time back compared to Rage in this and the last sector. The medium and the soft, wouldn't really say there's too much to split them in the first sector.
Here he goes for the middle sector. He validates just there.
Rob Wills barreling through the second sector as well. Looking nice and tidy. Oh, he's going to have to do a big lift there. He has to do a big lift and exit. That's going to cost him time all the way down. Well, I'm sure is turn 12. Could be wrong. All over the inside cup. Nicely does it. Use right up to the sausage cup and then keep the car nice and tight. Fire it to the line. It's a 15.8 for Rob Wills. First man into the 15s, of course. Rage and his medium competitor. Rage looks set to go again. So, and he's dropped the car out the last corner, so that will probably be that over. And he'll probably just sneak into the pit still because he needs to turn the car anyway, so it's probably safer just for him to drive in.
As well.
May go for another run at the end of the session, maybe just cold tyres there, letting some traffic through on their hot runs, slowed the mediums to top, way down in temperature and maybe cost them a little bit. Pedro coming through sector 2.
Rob Wills on provisional pole, of course.
Perry going through good speed through the S's for being on controller.
I think definitely he's looking to probably match Green Fingers, I think, this lap.
Pedro going to choose to stay nice and tight, get the car to the line. Yes, he is. And he,
wow, that's close. Green Fingers has come through actually.
Match at
he's doing a long run, it looks like.
65.
He's doing a lot of lap times on the softs, Green Fingers. He's just.
So looking at that, Fingers has probably got a low 16, high 15 in him as well. And Jamie has really attacked the first couple of chicanes there. Jensen, he was probably as really sweet as you get it. It's going to be C28-4 on the soft side, just like I was saying, the first sector between the two compounds is not too different. The soft gives you all your lap time, especially at this point of the lap.
And
that was
just about got away with that. I thought,
but that'll be a gone.
No, not that one though.
Mikey really coming behind them, we'll get on board. Mikey carrying good speed through. Oh yeah, he was really good through the S's there, was Mikey. 56
looks like he's
sector 2.
Take provisional pole of this. Looking at it, I think he's going to be in the mid-15s.
And Mikey is probably... I know Mikey's won, but Mikey up to this point is probably one of my drivers of the season in OTL, to be honest.
15, mid to low
15 for Mikey. Yeah, definitely I would say that Mikey has been one of the drivers of the season. Very, very consistent. He's always there or thereabouts if he's not in any incidents. And the penalties are almost non-existent.
Yeah, and he's the only other driver than Mike and Nelly to and F. Lewis to take 2 wins this season. Quite a few people have actually took 2 wins this season.
Yeah, I would probably, if Mike was dropping out of OTL, I would probably put Mikey as favourite for the title going forward.
I'd say Nelly. If he stayed, if Nelly was going to continue.
I think Mikey is going again. And he's invalidated that one, so that'll be that all over.
Here comes Adam.
Dix here's going for a run. Sick or not, he's on there doing it. So we'd like to see. Oh, and he gets nice and tight into the curb. Use that inside curb, try to kill him.
Yeah, he doesn't look as comfortable as he
and he just keeps sat in the limits there.
Yeah, it doesn't look as comfortable as he would. Skarmo's on his lap right behind. He's looking pretty good on the mediums. Let's see what he could do. He could possibly challenge up there in between Green Fingers and Mr. Rage's times. Here we go.
I think Adam has some fueling.
And it's a 16.8 for Skarmo. Not too bad for him. And Mikey has been sat in the pits all qualifying. He's he going out for one at the end, or is he going for the back?
I think he's went away for a change of boxers after his incident early in the session. F. Lewis looking nice and strong, 57-1, sector 2. He's going to be up there, maybe 16-2, 16-3, somewhere there, I would think.
I think it's 16-3, 16... No, actually 16-4. Let's go for that. He goes very wide, 16-5.
On the medium file though, of course, so he's got half a second or so in the pocket.
Jamie Enright is going for another lap. And that first sector was pretty good from him. A little bit.
Small correction on the exit, I think that was because he clouted the inside curb. I don't think it's cost him much at all, no, it certainly has not. He's been very consistent in that first sector, is Jamie. I think the 4 runs I've seen, 224, 5,
it's the end of the
24,
S's.
4.
That's where he's losing, end of the S's every time. Hope he gets this lap. As he goes around here, he's trying to commit flat out. Oh, he goes wide and manages to keep the lap valid there. It shouldn't really be valid, but he's managed to get away with that. As he goes into the final part of the lap, I think he's going to steal the pole position for now. I think it may be a high 14 for Jamie. It's a 14.9.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, that lap, because that every other driver's lost a lap time there. I don't understand how Jamie's been able to keep that. He was most definitely off the circuit.
It's staying off track. Yeah, it's staying off track. Managed to keep it in.
So he knows what to do there. Well, I guess that might be for the drivers to decide if they want to report that or not.
Track limits are a bit weird. Yeah, they can give you warnings for not even violating them, and not give you anything for massive extents and such. The 2 Aston Martins, no, the Aston Martin Greenfingers actually on his out lap. That Ranger, he is cutting the stadium there. I don't think it would have gained, I don't think it would have like changed the outcome. I think he still would be able to get out in time, but still should be doing that. But Greenfinger's starting a lap. See what he can do.
Mike is out on track. I think he is in the middle of sector 2 on an out lap.
He's got 2 attempts as well at this, as long as he doesn't crash.
Fingers nice and tight in sector 1.
Sector 1. Yeah, it's pretty good. As he goes through sector 1, he's 3 tenths off on his time. That's already competing against the likes. Oh no!
And he
Does he go back off the lap?
No, he's going to keep going, I think.
He's going to carry on. Probably lost a couple of attempts there doing that, but he's carrying on. He gets that pretty nice, really nice through the S's, and
I think he'll still be up here in the S's.
Yeah, only by 1/10 though. It's probably the mistake, not what he wanted, but he's still up on his time. And Greenfingers looks like he's probably going to get into a low 16 here this lap, as he comes out of the final corner. And it's going to be a 16-0. He goes ahead of Mr. Rage.
Aston Martin looking very, very good today.
And the 2
very
Williams carrying their laps. Mike, purple sector 1.
So let's get a board for championship leader. Got a little bit of traffic up front. I'm not sure exactly who it is.
It's a tenth ahead of Jamie at the moment. We know this is a very good middle sector for the wheel users, and that was pretty nice. And there goes Adam. He had to take a little bit of avoiding action there, Mike. I don't think he lost too much time. He's 2 tenths up on Jamie at the moment, and I think this is going to be a 14-6. Do I predict this right? I said it would be a 14-7 for quali, but I think it's just going to be a 14-6.
And I said a 14-4, I was close, no!
And he gets that.
I said mid to low 14, so I'll take that.
Mr. Rage is actually 8 thousandths down on his medium time, but he has 2 tenths down on Mike through sector 1. It's a glitched tyre.
And he's half a second up now. Oh yeah, he's on the softs on my screen, half a second up.
4.5 tenths down on Mike. He's a good final sector. I think he's going to only get P3 here. Here we go, Mr. Rage. He's going to slot into P4.
Oh, maybe qualified Rage. That's interesting for sure.
Here comes Jamie. Do we think Jamie can improve his time?
Oh,
he's invalidated. That is it. That is it for him, and I think that is it for pole position. As Walker is on the
nearly no run. Walker, I think he's
one
of our last men.
F. Lewis, he goes ahead of Mr. Rage. That's helping Mike even more. And Mike, I think that's pole secured for him. And that is a point.
Walker's going to pick up an invalidation there, so I think that will be the end of qualifying now. Matoman's on a lap, coming into the S's in sector 2. Yeah.
That's a great sector 1. Here we go into the S's. Let's see what Matoman can do. But at the moment.
Oh no, he's going to lose it.
And that's it, that's
and
qualifying
I think he's
over.
P10 on his medium, and I think that will be it. So Mike.
Walker though. Walker's on his lap.
Walker,
I invalidated, I think.
Oh yeah.
But that's it, Mike on pole.
So,
and that
one step
21
done for Michael.
Makes it 21 points now for Mr. Rage. He needs to outscore Mike by.
Mr. Rage there, just going to the line to end the session quickly. Good man. A wee bit buggy there. So, Mike on pole, Jamie will join him on the front row, then Mikey and F. Lewis on row 2, and the game's just 2. It's Mr. Rage and Ranger on row 3, Rob Wills and Fingers on row 4, Pedro and Matoman row 5. Fingers and Pedro, 2 standout performers in qualifying, get themselves inside the top 10. Scarlman SPW on row 6, Dixie and Nelly on row 7, and Walker on his lonesome at the back there on row 8. But I think we watched the likes of SPW, Nelly and Walker on that alternate strat. They could come into play a little later on the race, depending on how many positions they manage to make up on the early phase. So Jensen, predictions before we get into the nitty gritty and the showdown of Mexico.
I think Mike is really... He's really pushing for this. He really wants this. He wants to do it in the best way. I think he's gonna win, even with the donuts he has planned at the end of the race. I don't know if he's doing this in this session or.
Oh, no donuts. I think he's crazy. Bring it home.
On the line, maybe.
He's got races to donut later.
I mean, it depends what gap he has at the end of the race. If he has like a 20-second gap, then.
Well, maybe spin a donut, but then you could pick up a penalty for doing the donut and. All over.
I don't think he will, to be honest. But we got session starting in 20 seconds, but I think Mike will win. I'm looking at where everyone else is starting. SPW might be a dark horse in this race. I might put him P2 and Mikey P3. Probably that'll be my top 3.
I'm going to go for Mike for the win. I think F. Lewis will have a strong drive. See, I'm bringing home a P2. And I think it's going to be a hard fought battle between Mikey and Rage for that 3rd spot, but I think Rage will just snip it.
Oh, that's the predictions. Oh, wow. And Jamie's not getting off the grid. He's stuck there. Is he? He's not there. That is not good,
and he's been disqualified from the session. So I'm going to grab my restroom break while they do the form lap, Jensen. I will be back. So no tyre warm-up at all for Jamie. That could be detrimental to his restart. Of course, Mike in P1 with that big long drive down to turn 1. He could come under massive pressure from the likes of Mikey. Or even F. Lewis, Mr. Rage. So it's that long old run. You've got to make sure your start, especially if you're on that P1 slot, you have to get that start right.
I think you've got to watch out for Mikey as well, because Mikey is really being attuned to straight line speed setups this season. He really likes a really fast car on the straight. So I think Mikey might be a dark horse leading into turn 1, but I think F. Lewis has really got to be careful, because of course Jamie didn't get off the grid. He might not still be there, so F. Lewis got to really, he's got to watch out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just in case.
I think it's your lights out as well, Jensen.
All right.
Let's get some position change up.
Get ready to rumble here in Mexico City, as everyone lining back up on the grids. Bottom 5 on the medium tyres as expected for the alternate strategy. That could be very could be some underdog performances from them at the back. We'll wait for the lights. The lights are coming on. We got 3, 4 and 5. And we're away at Mexico, and it's a great start from Mike, and Jamie Embright's getting off the grid as well, but he's going to take the lead, it looks like, into going down the straight. Even with the cold tyres, he's going to take the lead. He's doing a bit of warm-up down the straight, and Mike, he's getting bottomed down here into turn 1 we go, and F. Lewis up the inside. He's got a very compromised line, but Mikey's at a spin in the background. And Mike has just about kept it. He's going to go for a move on Jamie as they go wheel to wheel down the straight. Jamie trying to get some tyre warm up. Mike can't get back through. Jamie getting a dream start, even with no tyre temperatures. He still manages to get past Mike into turn 1, and it's absolute disaster for Mikey.
And further back, I don't know what's happened, Jensen, but Nelly has went from P14 to P8, and he done that in the first sequence of 4 corners. I'm not quite sure exactly what went down, but he has made massive gains on that medium tyre. And he does bits there, fair play. He messed up there and chose not to harness his teammate. Is Pedro going to maybe look at having a go at Skarma here? Further back on his soft compound tyre, he maybe needs to utilise the soft compound and try and get in about this race a bit more aggressively early.
Oh, and Jamie into the pits already? What has happened to Jamie?
He's got no charger, he's got no charger for his controller. I think he's had to retire.
That is a shame for Jamie.
Thank you though, Jamie, if you're watching, thank you for at least getting the car round that first lap and getting it in so that it never done anything funny in AI when your pad died off. That's thoughtful of you, so appreciate it.
That's a really
Ranger and Mr. Rage having a bit of a battle there. I missed exactly what was going on. I was watching, and now Rob Wills is going to take the opportunity on that one as well and slip through on the inside. And you look back here, the 2 McLaren boys back fighting again. Skarma defending the inside line, Pedro looking at the outside, 2
and
inside.
They go wheel to wheel, and Skarma's going to get on traction. Is Pedro going to keep his nose up the inside? He is, and they go wheel to wheel, coming out of turn 7, and look at Matterman, he's trying to get in the fight as well. Skarma, he cuts the corner a little bit, he keeps the position, he backs off.
Yeah, fair play. I don't think he wanted to filter into the racing line. Fair play there, Skarma. No, you didn't. Jamie, you've done absolutely the right thing there in terms of being as fair as you can. You've done the right thing, so fair play, mate. In my opinion, absolutely spot on, and thank you. Because it could have went a lot worse. So you try to get it round and get it in the pits to the best of your ability, and we can't fault that. So Mike starts to check out. It's a shame, Jamie, because I think you and Mike would have went on to have a good race here and gave Mike a bit of a sweat for his title. But we continue.
F. Lewis going to keep there though. F. Lewis might keep within this gap. This could separate Mike's race in 2 different paths here. If Mike gets the gap,
have smoked Mike, I like it.
Mike, he needs to get the gap over F. Lewis here.
So I think he'll push on probably middle sector here, right?
If F. Lewis doesn't, if Mike doesn't get the gap to F. Lewis, going to lead down the path of F. Lewis being the DRS, challenging Mike, and I think Mike wants to come to the race here. He's going to have to try and get the gap through this section of track, and F. Lewis had a moment there, I think, and there you go, the gap is done, and Mike, I think he's in a really comfortable place now as he gets away in the lead of the race. And Mr. Rage, he started down in P6, I think, but he's come up to 3rd already, and he's right behind F. Lewis. Is he going to get into DRS? Not this time, but maybe next lap.
So that they people having a few moments just kind of spread out the front of the pack. I think most of the fight, Pedro's starting to get a little bit of a train of cars behind him in that P8 spot. I think we'll see Walker coming to push through any moment. Matoman goes through pretty briskly on
Nelly.
And
there goes Rob Wilson, Ranger to go wheel to wheel through turn 2 and 3. Great
Good
racing, great respect from both of them. And Rob Wills gets through. Ranger, he's still fighting, even without the DRS, he's still fighting. He's looking at the inside, but he can't get the move done. He was just a bit too far back. And Rob Wills late enough on the brakes to keep the position. And great
Fingers is
racing
drive.
from him.
Oh, Fingers just went a bit deep in the brakes and hit SPW a bit. I think SPW managed to get out the corner fine. They shouldn't have picked up any damage there either, I wouldn't think.
Garma recovered position on Adam, I think. Adam done a chill drive.
The Mikey's the interesting one. Back on the pack. SPW and range, DRS range as well. SPW has fell off the back of his as well.
Walker takes the first penalty of the race on the alternate strategy. And yeah, here we go. Walker might get Pedro down here. Same with Mikey on SPW. I don't think SPW can defend this. Mikey with DRS and a massive energy advantage, and he will side through to take P10. The same with Walker on Pedro. He goes up to P8. We're seeing a lot of overtakes, and there's Mr. Rage on F. Lewis, goes up the inside. F. Lewis trying to get the switch back, but he can't. And then Williams gets into second place and makes it a 1-2, and this is important for the constructors. Overtaking the Alpha is just gained 10 points in Williams' favour.
Sorry, I missed that one. My kids were being little tinkles.
I think a Williams 1-2 would be also in best thing that could happen, especially this time.
Look at Mikey now on Pedro, steaming through. Mikey back inside the top 10 up to P9. Pedro try to hang on the outside, wee bit of squeezing going on between the two. Good racing though. Nelly and Walker are really interesting ones. Mr. Rage with the fastest lap of the race, so he's on the push. Mr. Rage down at 5% energy. Mike is in dreamland at the moment.
And F. Lewis, he's just going to chill in the DRS for now, I think. And there goes Rob Wilson, Ranger, they're going at it again. Ranger, he couldn't defend from what Rob Wills there as he goes through into 4th place. There. But here comes Matoman. Ranger wasn't ready for that, and the Alpine is through into 5th. And Escama picks up a penalty down in 11th place. It's all shaking up now. Didn't expect some of these drivers to filter downwards and upwards for the Alpha.
Yeah, it's been interesting the first few laps. When is that soft tyre going to come into a window of a pit stop, Jensen?
I think from lap, I'd say lap 8 to lap
Ranger through on Matoman. They're going to go side by side. Matoman gets squeezed out a little bit. And Nelly now all over the back of Matoman. We'll watch it from the back of Ranger's car, because I think this will materialise into something down into turn 1. Rangers of course gave up the DRS, so Matoman now gets to come back at him.
Yeah, Matoman, I think this is going to be an easy pass for him. Ranger is out of energy, using absolutely everything. Matoman not even using anything.
through, he goes back to P5. Matterman probably needs to try and put Rob Wills between himself and Ranger.
Here comes Nelly though. This time for Nelly. Nelly's going to get through on Ranger. Ranger is just dropping down the field, but he's going to try and fight this. He's going up the inside. Nelly on the outside. Nelly, the reigning champion, you got to keep it around the outside. They're going wheel to wheel here. They're bumping wheels a little bit there. Nelly though, can he get through? He can't. He had to pull out then, and Ranger keeps the position ahead of McLaren. And see what Nelly can do here. Can he get a run on the Mercedes? Is he going to try one?
Take a wait for the big straight. As Ranger has lost the Matterman DRS now, so although he's maybe sneaked back in there, was the detection zone? Nah, I think
look
he's just
at Mikey
outside
as well. Mikey has just sneaked into Nelly's detection zone. Ranger in the pits, so he is going early. It's a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. That is not what he wanted.
No, you do not need that.
And Mr. Rage, he's got a penalty, and he's been overtaken by Lewis. What has happened over the last couple of laps for him? He has dropped off massively, 1.5 seconds over Mike. And F. Lewis up into second place once again. I think saving up for that overtake over those last few laps.
And the race is now sitting in my prediction order. Mike P1, F. Lewis P2, and Mr. Rage P3. So
Mike,
just stay like this, boys.
He's got 90% energy.
Oh, he is chilling.
He is absolutely chilling, just like last season. He seems to start to walk away with this one.
Nelly and Matterman about to materialise into a bit of a dogfight as well. I think Mikey might try and get himself involved as well. But soft tires are going to be going off. We're going to see all these guys diving into the pits ever so shortly. Ranger actually boxing the last lap. Might see some trigger.
Yeah, Mike using a bit of energy there. I think he is pushing for pit stop this lap. Here comes Mr. Rage. Rage pushing down the straight, going up the inside of F. Lewis. He takes the second place back.
Nelly goes through a Matterman as well, just a little further behind on the main straight, and he now up to P5 on that medium compound.
Matterman keeps on going wide out of turn 3. He's gonna stop doing that. He might be picking up warnings doing that. And Nelly doing pretty good on those mediums, but I think best he's looking to get now is P2. The way he is going.
Yeah.
And he has to pit in the next 7 laps, I think. But here comes Mike. He's using just enough energy where he won't like top out his energy bar in the pits. And you know he's going to come in. And here he comes. I think, no, he's going to carry on. So I think that lap was probably using a lap early, don't know.
If Lewis here coming very quickly at Mr. Rage, we're going to see a big send into turn 1. Is he going to be close enough? Not this time around. He'll probably line him up though through these next couple of corners.
Nice. I don't think it's close enough. Mr. Rage using
quite a
everything
nice
to
exit.
defend, and that is it, yeah. Mr. Rage keeps position over F. Lewis there.
I think some of these soft tyre guys are really starting to find problems with understeer. Front end just not with the car anymore. Matterman really struggling through the first couple of corners. I think the tyres are starting to die.
When is Mike gonna pit? Is he gonna? Surely he's gonna go for a 2-stop. Can't see him doing anything. I know he did a 1-stop in a race I did with him a couple of weeks back. Maybe he might be trying that, or will he attempt something different? It looks like he is going to go long on these tyres. I think the 1-stop is the plan for him. at the moment.
Nelly on Matoman yet again. Matoman not putting up much of a defence there. Nelly will go through down the inside into turn 1. Matthew will stay right behind him. He's doing quite a good job here to be staying with these medium guys on these soft compact tyre. Mikey as well, he's made a great recovery. He's only 3 positions off where he started the race, so... And here comes Mikey now, right big send down the inside on that second DRS zone, and he now gets through on Matoman.
The gap has been hovering about here at the moment. Mike trying to go long. He's got to be now. Yeah, I think that is enough to say that he's doing the one stop.
So one stop they're probably looking to go till about 14, right?
About 13, 14, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the beat.
And Matoman is in, so he's went one early. Probably mediums probably will go from there, see what tire, but he's bolting on another soft, so that's a very, very... Matoman's strategies are interesting ones. I think that's a bit late for a 2-stop. We'll look in comparison to Ranger, but Ranger is going to be way, way, way through in Matoman, so... Look at this, 3 wide, Rob Wills, Ranger and OTL Dixie all barreling into turn 1. Dixie trying to put up a fight. 2 guys round about with DRS. We'll get on board with Dixie though, because this might materialise into something more up into turn 4. Dixie not got the energy. You're not going to push on at him. Ranger is fighting for the top spots if you can follow him through. He was right up there. So Matoman onto the fresh softs. If he gets caught in this fight though, he's in big trouble.
Mike's tyres are looking a bit worn at the moment.
Oh yes, are they?
Especially his front left tyre.
It looks beaten.
There's a big shade change there. Right in the middle of where the tyres.
And Mikey is in. So Mikey will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Mikey onto the medium compound.
He should be able to make it to the end. Going
He's
early
been
stop
held.
for the one stop.
No, it's just McGinn being a donkey. So where does Mikey fall to in relation to the Ranger fight? He's going to be out a little bit behind. Ranger of course a little bit down on the tyres, but Matoman nearly get caught out there, but Mikey nearly overcut him. So, but Mikey's come out right on him. He's going to probably pick off Dixie very quickly here. Dixie not cutting up the straight. Mike Casey, a little thank you. That is one thing about Adam. He's not going to spend too much time fighting guys that you know he's not racing.
I think Mike will come in next lap. I think he will come out in the gap in between SPW and...
Oh, and Mr. Rage has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, Jensen.
That is not good.
And 5-second penalty is huge. That's him get 8 seconds in penalties. Late safety car, and that could be detrimental to the challenge.
Mike will be loving that. I mean, didn't have to do much this race, Mike, but he's doing very well. Matoman fast lap the race on the new soft tyres. So Matoman going aggressive strategy. And
look at this, he's going to go through the mid with Wells and Ranger. Oh my god. Very, very fair racing.
And he's gone up the middle of both of them, and he's actually...
Rob Wells and Ranger are still side by side. These guys have been going at it for the full race. Rob Wells will get the DRS though, and Rangers will need to tuck in behind. Good bit of racing there between the three. That's the first, not the first time we've seen them 3 wide into turn 1. and very respectful between them all.
Surely Mike's got to come into the pits there. His tyres look done. And there we go. He is coming to the pits. Careful on the speed limit. He's going very safe. And that's another penalty from Mr. Rage. He's not wanting that. F. Lewis, also very painful looking tyres.
So
Mike
in the box. Softs on, softs off, mediums on. And he'll come out P3. What is the gap to the front? No, I think he will get out in front of SPW. It'll be interesting though. SPW is going to be pretty damn close, but Mike does get out in front in that P3 position, and he will make use.
In case of anything late happening in the race, and there's a crash. That's Adam out of the race. He might have had an instant with green fingers. No, he just had an instant up ahead, and
he's had a big moment at the last corner. That could be a safety car, that.
And it seems it hasn't. And there go Nelly and Walker. They're both battling here. Walker is over the back of Nelly. He's looking for the outside, and they're almost going wheel to wheel through the X's there.
Oh, and that inside cut. And there's a safety car out now. So a very, very late call. And of course,
really shot those medium guys.
Oh, they've banked to one stop is way in play now.
Yeah, Mike.
And it probably hurts Nelly and Walker, because I don't think the soft tyre will go to the end here.
It won't.
So they need to two-stop now. They have no choice.
I think the best thing they could do now is go to a soft and a medium again under the safety car, or go 2 sets of softs at the front. Go for a set of softs for one stint and another. But Mike, he's on the perfect strategy for that. For now, he can go straight to the end of the race where he is. And the alternate strategy, guys, have been absolutely thrown in the bin.
Yes, that hurts them big style. You're absolutely fine, Adam. You've Valtteri Bottas out of the last corner.
Let's see what Nelly and Walker do in this situation. Are any of these guys going to pit again?
Oh, and Fingers has got a drive through for speeding under the safety car.
Ah, you can't even serve that until...
I'm surprised they still have a Delta though, because Mike has been on the safety car now for a little bit, so that's strange. I thought they would have got the hurry up by now, but there you go.
So, interesting one here. Will Nelly and Walker pit again, or...?
So I want to see tyres. This is the interesting one. So SPW, Skarma, Walker, Nelly, Fingers, Ranger went for the hard compound. Don't think that's going to be a strong call.
It might be, just be a tyre and then back onto the medium. I don't know. I don't think Ranger started on the medium. And Green Fingers, he's out. I think he's tired of turn 1. I think he
accepted after the drive-through. Yeah.
It was a shame for him because he had good pace. There was just really unlucky.
So my podium prediction is still looking very good. I am very happy about that. But of course, Nelly and Walker are going to be very, very quick on the restart, so I think they're going to put Lewis and Rage under big pressure. But I don't think it's a fight they really need to get involved in. If they want to let the soft guys go and then just stay in the DRS, that's probably the smart play for the medium tyre. Softs will drop off eventually and then you just go through.
Skarma was the only one who pitted out those one softs, 2 new mediums, and Ranger also did the same off his hard tyres. Probably listening to stream saying
yeah, so that's smart. I think giving up the couple of positions is probably the right call rather than trying to
for better tyres.
Yeah. Because he's been fast, so he can push through.
Listen to the stream guys with me, race engineers.
I know, we give free info.
Yeah, free of charge.
Well, for now.
Well, we could, yeah, for now. For now we'll let everyone off. But yeah, we'll turn it into a service.
Next season it's expensive.
Yeah, £50 per.
Hope you're listening as well, Adam. This Jensen and Chris don't come free for long. Their commentary needs protected.
Yeah, soon we're going to be very wealthy.
So I wonder if we'll get safety car in this lap.
Depends if they were part of the pack. Were they part of the pack?
Don't think Pedro was.
If they catch up before the safety car comes around the safety car line, and I don't think it is. Nah, it isn't.
So one more lap.
Yeah,
I pay you in friendship. I mean, that's more paying me rather than paying. I will go and relieve my boy bladder. Give me 1 second. So I'm back. I do not.
Wow.
That's a lie, Adam. I loathe it. Just kidding. So safety car will most definitely go in this lap.
If it isn't, but my number's just a prick.
Big recovery inbound for Mikey. Mikey still
Oh,
could be
Mike,
good for that podium.
be careful. You almost hit the safety car there. And yeah, it's just stuff you don't want to be doing. It's a bit like Hamilton trying to get the safety car to hurry up. He's getting the tyres warmed up as the safety car will come in this lap.
And there is the sign.
And it's going to be essential this stint for Mike. He needs to get away from his teammate. Mr. Rage, he didn't come in to serve his penalty. So he's going to take 5 seconds on the chin. He's not going to go any further pit stops from there. But let's see. What's this going to be like? How is Mike going to restart this? And I think he's going now. He's definitely gone there. That was brilliant for Mike. And that is 8 attempts and over a second in
Look at
pocket.
these soft tyres now, Jensen.
And look at Nelly.
Rage.
Nelly over the back of him. There, going down the
Now
straight.
look at
Lewis.
Walker though. Walker's going to come through and ahead of Nelly. Is he going to make the move? The soft compound tyre on the inside line. It's not there. Nelly.
He's going to go on the outside of F. Lewis. No, he's got the move done. That was brilliant from Walker there. The grip is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, small
And I
bit of
think he's about to
contact
get
there.
2 cars. He's about to get Mr. Rage as well. Walker absolutely on fire on the restart. He's on the outside. Mr. Rage leaves the gap. He tries to go inside. And yeah, that was brilliant from Walker there. Brilliant restart. They're doing a little bit of wheel banging there, but Walker has got the moves done. He's made 3 positions off the safety car restart. And that is what he needed on those soft tyres. And he's left Nelly for dust in this battle. And Nelly, I think Nelly's going to push here. Is he going to try and get a move done on Mr. Rage now? I don't think he is. He's got to wait. But that was essential for Walker.
Further back, not much going on. What gains is Mikey? Mikey up to P7. He's right on the back of this battle as well,
SPW.
so it's game on.
SPW on the softs. How is this going to work for him at the moment? The Nets positions are Mike, F. Lewis, and I think Mikey at the moment, or Rob Wills. And there goes Nelly. Nelly is through on Mr. Rage. They make a little bit of contact, but Nelly is through into 3rd. And here comes F. Lewis. And here comes Mr. Rage. They're both on the threat. Yeah,
Mr.
and there
Rage
goes
is
F.
getting
Lewis.
put under massive pressure off the restart. F. Lewis can't get round the outside that time around though. Mr. Rage will retain for the moment that P4 position, but Walker against
Problem?
Mike.
Yeah, that's the problem for Mike. He's not going to have a comfortable stint.
Oh,
Walker really having some big moments, so he's catching the car. Mikey's not going to have a comfortable stint of just tailing away from the rest of the pack. We've got the two soft runners on his tail, including Nelly, which I'm sure Nelly isn't going to play nice. He's definitely going to be aggressive on Mike. He's going to try and not let him have anything. And
DRS enabled. Now
Yeah.
is the time for Mike to try and get away. Walker will get one blast.
I don't think Mike is
will.
using anything here. I think Mike accepting his fate here. The softs are clear at this point in the race, and with 15 laps to go, it is all to play for in this race. Can Walker get close enough for the next lap?
And SPW coming for a big look at F. Lewis. I think you're down on the second DRS on. He'll stick that Alpine's nose in the inside line back to the...
Oh, yeah. SPW, big exit out of that corner, and they go wheel to wheel. F. Lewis getting shoved off the road there, and SPW making the move stick and goes to P5 with that one, getting the traction out of turn 5, and that'll be essential for him to see if he can try and get close to Mr. Rage. Mikey over the back of F. Lewis now as well. But here comes Walker. Walker is tailgating Mike through the final sector. And this is going to be the move for the lead for Walker. He's not using any energy. Now he is. Mike trying to break the DRS there, or the slipstream. They've got really close there. Walker having to back off a little bit, and Walker can slot back into the racing line and take the lead of the race, and that'll be essential for Walker. And can he get a gap now over Mike as he loses the DRS? I think it's essential for Mike here to try and keep within the DRS of Walker, and then yeah, try and get that for his own gains. But at the moment, Walker is flying on those softs.
I do apologise, sir.
Yeah, don't worry, dude.
So Walker got through. I may have missed that.
Yeah, and look at the gaps. Mike, he's got DRS now. He's got to try and keep within a second through this final sector. I think he will. And I think Mike, he has to try and take advantage of this DRS while he can, because those tyres will start to go off soon.
And SPW got through, and F. Lewis eventually as well. Mikey now about to put himself right back in that podium fight.
So then, at the moment, contract battles, Mike and Walker.
F. Lewis and SPW about to go down. F. Lewis looking to come back through round the outside.
On the outside, there they go. F. Lewis is getting shoved a little bit, but good space given by both drivers, and SPW goes to the track a little bit. F. Lewis trying to put his nose on the inside. F. Lewis, SPW off track, and F. Lewis trying to go on the outside, but he can't. Through that, the inside always wins in turn 8, and SPW remains ahead. But the gap is a lot closer this time for the straight. And if you look at Mikey as well, Mikey has a massive ERS advantage, and if he's close enough on both of them, he can get them both into one corner.
Oh yeah, I think we might see Mikey just absolutely send it out this last corner, Jensen.
Go on, Mikey. You know you want to do that. And here we go, he's going to use the energy. They're all using the energy. Well, Mikey isn't anymore, but you can surely see them both derating. Here they go, F. Lewis through into P5, and that was a pretty easy move there, and SPW just slotting back in. The DRS off him.
Ranger picking up a time penalty for multiple warnings, but he is catching back up on that medium compound tyre. If that was the hard, he would have been falling away, so
Oh, the soft tyres, Chris, I think they're starting to fall off. Because Mike is keeping right with Walker now. He's just been sitting there. And now Walker's starting to struggle a little bit as the gap is only 4 tenths through the S's. And Walker spins, he's out of the race!
That could be a safety car,
no.
Jensen. Oh, that was a big
And that might be
crash.
a safety car, yeah. And it is a safety car, and that is definitely a pit stop.
And now you go
Nelly,
to the softs to the end.
Nelly has made this strategy work then. Staying out on the softs, that safety car has gave him the pit stop, and Mike and Nelly will go hand in hand again this season.
Ah, Walker,
and that is really a shame
man.
for Walker there.
Yeah, he was driving a solid race, made some great moves on that restart. He was doing what he had to do on that strategy that maybe wasn't the best. But the SE's claims, and that's only the first person to go at the SE's, so. And Rob Wills gets another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's really struggled getting it down. Ranger takes over the lead of the race on his medium compound tyre, and every other driver pits.
Was that a mistake from Ranger, or did he have nothing to lose there? He's going to try a different strategy. He's only got, he's got 9 seconds of penalties, so that's not going to be great for him. But this might be difficult for Mike here because he's got Nelly right behind him, and he needs to get away from Nelly really to make any progress in the lead. But I don't think there's going to be any donuts for Mike in this race, because I don't think he's going to get much a gap to anyone in these last 8 laps unless he pulls out some supreme pace.
Right, sorry, Jason. Not having the best of moments with the children, best of evenings. But we're back, and it was only safety car, so Rangers mediums are guaranteed to go to the end. His chance in this, I think, Jensen, is to stay with the soft guys as much as he can, and hope that the mediums just get a little something in the bag for the last couple of laps compared to the soft, and maybe make some gains back then. But we've seen how dangerous that soft tyre is on the restart. So Ranger leads the way, Mike P2, Nelly 3, F Lewis 4, SPW 5, Mike, Nelly, F Lewis and SPW in a clean fight for the podium, the only guys without penalties. Mikey 6, Ray 7, Rob Wills 8, Skarma P9, Matoman 10 and Pedro P11. Let's have a look at actually what exact penalties people have. Oh, that's the wrong one. Penalties, so there we go. We have 6 seconds for Pedro, 9 for both Matoman and Skarma, 8 seconds for Rob Wills, 6 seconds for Rage and 3 seconds for Mikey. Mikey, the guy that tends not to get penalties, picking up a penalty at Mexico. Who would have thought it?
Yeah. And SPW, he might be on course for that podium what I predicted him to do. Same with F Lewis for yourself. So we're going to get half our predictions right, I think, with Mikey and Rage pretty much out of contention, I think, with their penalties.
Well, Mr. Rage back down to 6 seconds. So it depends how much pace he's got. If he can push through and make a break, then he may be able to get a P5 or a P4 out of it. I think the podium's just a bit far away. He needs to try and push for that P4 though.
We will have a 10 lap sprint, Chris, with 11 guys left in this race. Let's see who will take the crown of the Mexican Grand Prix victory this season. With Mike taking it last season, will we see a new winner in the shape of Nelly or F Lewis or SPW even? But
and we're just going to go to the same place. And the soft tyre has just got such a good launch. So look at Mike, he is absolutely in the toe. And Mike is going to go through here, Ranger. Not using any.
Defending here. Ranger, I think he's pushing more energy now just to defend from Nelly. This is good for Mike. if Ranger is defending from Nelly, Nelly is going to have to try and get a run here on Ranger. Coming out of the corner, can he do that? Nelly using absolutely everything. I think he's got the run here, and Ranger is not using to defend.
And SPW and F loose switched on the restart.
Ranger trying to defend, and Nelly, he just about gets through, but look at the gap, it's 9 tenths. Mike is in a good place. He just needs one more tenth, and he'll break that DRS already. But how far will Nelly push the pace? But at the moment, SPW.
And here comes SPW. Look at the drive difference out of the S's. He look to the racing line. Ranger will defend it. Is he going to send it around the outside? Ranger does give space, and that's great bit of racing between the two. Ranger leaves the door open now, and F Lewis maybe looking through. Poor Ranger's hanging on, but he's doing his best.
Hanging on by Fred at the moment. Mike fastest lap, so Mike will be taking another point home at the moment if he could keep the fastest lap. But here goes F Lewis on Ranger, and that's going to be an easy move. Mikey is just waiting in the wings at the moment. Can he get Ranger anytime soon? He's going for the inside.
Oh,
Ranger
fair
has
play,
to
Ranger.
back out there, and yeah, it was probably a bit too late from Mikey, but Ranger, he submits anyway. And
very good reactions and spatial awareness there on the track from Ranger.
Yeah, it could have ended a disaster, but Ranger, yeah, turning out. And there goes Mr. Rage. That was a very, very clinical move there, taking him by surprise into turn 6 as he moves up into 6th. And Nelly picks up a penalty, and that is his chance of the win over, unless Mike picks up a penalty. But Nelly seems to be pushing to keep within the gap here.
If SPW double shifted there and costing a little bit of the S's, and F Lewis will go through into P3.
Mike's got to be careful. He's got 2 warnings for his name. One more will give him the penalty. I think F Lewis also has 2 warnings, as well as SPW with 2 warnings. So these guys without penalties, they're on the edge here. F Lewis is through on SPW. I probably didn't see that, but this is going to be an interesting end to the race. And Ranger versus Rob Wills once again. He's battling all race, but Rob Wills couldn't get through this time. Can he get on the exit? They've always been going side by side into turn 5 for quite much of this race. Can Rob Wills get the run? He's looked to the inside. He's not going to make the move, and he's going to stay there for another lap.
Ranger is doing okay here. We knew he was going to lose some positions at the start, but if he can just stay there or thereabouts with these front running guys. And he's up to 12 seconds now.
Great for Ranger. He took the risk, but in the end it has not paid off for him, and he is dropping down the order. And there goes Rob Wills and Ranger. They're going wheel to wheel through turn, I think that's turn 12, and Rob Wills gets the move done in the stadium. And
I don't know if that's smart though, because he'll give Ranger the DRS now down the straight.
And these two, they really like to be fighting this race. Skarmo is not going to be able to get Ranger. I say Rob Wills trying to break the toe quite a bit there, but it's not going to halt Ranger as Ranger goes down the inside. There goes Mataman as well at the inside. Is he going to get them both? He's going to go around the outside of Ranger. There's been a bit of contact, a little bit of a contact there. Mataman in a bit of a spin, but he's managed to hold the position ahead of Skarmo, and Pedro's just waiting there at the moment. And they're all going at it here. And there goes Mataman up the inside of Rob Wills. A little bit of wheel banging, bumper cars into turn 6. But Rob Wills hangs onto the position. Skarmo sends up the inside. He's hit him and he spun the car. And that was a bit too over ambitious from Skarmo there into turn 7 and 8. And he will drop right down the field. And
that was some crazy racing going on there. I think Rob Wills and Ranger are going to go at it once more.
Yeah, Nelly might have a go at Mike sooner or later, as Mike is using a bit of energy there out of corner, but to keep the position, Nelly won't be able to get close. this time around. And F. Lewis almost broke the DRS that lap. They're both absolutely done for energy, F. Lewis and SPW. They've got a whole pack of cars battling out here, and here comes Ranger once again. Another lap of this battle, and there goes Ranger up the inside. They're going to wheel to wheel through turn 1. Rob Will's on the outside this time. Ranger turns that into the outside, and they go wheel to wheel. A little bit of wheel banging there. And Mataman, this time he's going to be on Ranger for a move, and they're going to go 3 wide into turn 5. This is insane.
No, they've done it.
Somehow make it work. Oh no, and Rob Wilson has been spun there, stands still, and they had to wait. But Mataman got through. Rob Wilson Ranger, they lose out in the end. And Pedro is just sat behind them at the moment, and he's probably going to lose a couple of places. He's going to lose a position.
Nearly up to 6 seconds in penalties as well, Jensen, while all that was happening, so things could be changing near the end of this race when it comes to the front of the grid.
Oh, and that's Ranger's out. That might be a safety car.
This might be a late safety car. And it is! Oh, this changes everything.
And the leaders, they get past before pitting, but then the guys behind are not pitting as well, so I think they will stay out. Only 6 laps old.
The guys at the back have got nothing to lose with going to the fresh soft.
This has really changed everything. Nelly is lost out big time here. He was with no penalties, and now he's at 6 seconds under threat of losing 3 positions from this safety car. And that is really throwing a spanner into the works. And Pedro's got only 6 seconds, so he's going to gain on Mataman from that. Rob Will's going to gain Pedro. So Rob Will's got his penalty removed. He's only got 3 seconds. I think he's going to jump up to P6 after this. We're only going to have, as they get around to, we only have 2 laps of racing. So the fence is going to be quite easy for Mike. No one's going to have any DRS on him. So that might be it.
And of course, this could be title. I don't see how now the Rage stops it.
Yeah,
he can.
Situation.
Yeah, I don't think he can. Mike just needs to bring the car home. No donuts, because it's going to be very close. But get the car home, and he's done it. And it's Nelly pit.
Nelly pitting then. Fast as that may be to take away a point from the Williams group, but I don't know if he's going to get fastest lap trying to fight through the pack. But he's going to drop down to P6.
Well, that's maybe Nelly's been smart there. He's seen the gap in the traffic and said, I can only lose a few positions here for a fresh tyre. But that means Nelly's going to have to be aggressive.
He's got only 2 laps. That's why I wouldn't have pitted. If I were him, I wouldn't have pitted. It's only 2 laps of racing. You're not going to get 5 positions, I think. Or 4 positions, mate.
No, I don't see it. Of course. Saying that everybody behind Mr. Rage now is... Oh, what does this do for this in terms of title?
So this is going to...
Mr. Rage is going to finish P5, I would think, yeah.
It's not enough, is it?
Oh, he needs P4, right? At least.
He needs P4. Yeah, he needs P4 and Mike not to finish, and Mike is leading, so it is not looking very good for Mr. Rage, but there's a very, very low chance for him coming into this anyways. But I think at the moment, Williams, they got a car ahead of, they got their first car ahead of the first Alfa Romeo, and they got the other car ahead of the second Alfa Romeo. I think they're going to take this as a win anyways, for constructors wise, and bring that gap down. But yeah, I think that might be it for Mr. Rage, because Mike is now started lap 34, he is winning classification range, so if he does crash out, he will still score points. And scoring that amount of points for P11.
Oh, Nelly got a double pen in one go. Ew.
Oh.
maybe report
So-
one of them, Nelly. We can maybe get one of the 3 seconds away. It's always worth, if you've got footage of it, putting it in. If you've been given 2 pence, like on the spot for going off track at one point, then I think there would be clear evidence to have that possibly removed. Wouldn't you agree, Jensen?
Yeah.
It's always worth a try, mate. Go get some at the end here, and you never know.
So Chris, now Mr. Rage, the only way he can stay in this championship fight is winning.
He
That's
needs
it.
to win.
He needs to win this race.
And I don't think he's going to find a 7-second gap to Mike in 2 laps. Because safety car will come in. Pedro on that new tyre, he needs to get right aggressive, close right up in Mattleman and pounce early. He needs to get in front of these cars. Pedro could be on a winner here, he could gain 2 or 3 positions. Remember, if he can clear Nelly, well, Nelly's on a fresh tyre. Safety car does come in this lap. So Mike takes over the pace, he drops it right out of the car. He's probably going to go late yet again. Give the guys in the new tyre as little as possible.
Hard one.
Well, I think if Mikey can overtake SPW and break the gap in 2 laps for a podium after that first lap contact, he is very worthy.
Yeah. This is going to be.
And Mike's went
interesting.
early, that's interesting. He's caught F
He's
Lewis
caught
a
really
little
off
bit
guard, isn't
napping.
he? And
And
Mike,
that is a
he's gonna
superb
have a
restart.
Very, very comfortable end to this race, I think. Here comes SPW. He is absolutely pushing it. This is the only opportunity really he could get to overtaking F. Lewis. Is he going to go for a move? He's not going to get done this time. But can he get it done in any of the other overtaking
Matterman
races?
and Nelly side by side, but Nelly retains the position.
comes
His fresh
Mikey.
tyre showing dividends.
Mikey pushing, SPW defending the inside line, Mikey going outside. Does he go into turn 5? Mikey around the outside, and SPW, a little bit of bounce.
Oh no, Mikey, careful!
I think that as a driver of the day gone for Mikey there. He's not going to be able to break any gap, but he's still on for P4.
Mr. Rage gets another time penalty, so he's up to 9 seconds, and now coming under pressure from Nelly. Nelly
He's
is
gonna lose out to the guys with
probably
6
going to go
seconds.
through into turn
Oh,
12.
look at that!
Rage is like, I don't
Wheel
care,
to
I've got
wheel.
penalties, so I'm going to hang it on the outside off track or not. He's going to get
And
the
they're both
squeeze
wheel
on
to
with
wheel, here we
Nelly.
go.
Oh, Rage goes a little bit wide, nearly clips the wall, gets through the one now,
Oh,
under
Rage
big
getting
pressure
back
from
through, here we go.
Skarma.
Final lap, and Mike absolutely pushing here. And yeah, he's pretty much in the clear. 1.3 seconds. We could take a chill final lap here. But he knows he's got to get this to the end without a mistake or a penalty, because F. Lewis is waiting in the wings here.
And I think Pedro's going to slip into the top 6 here. If
Yeah,
he can
Pedro's
stay at
gonna
this.
slip. Yeah, I think he's going to go up to P6. Yeah, P6 at this moment in time for Pedro.
But let's go to the man of the moment, Jensen.
Yeah, he is driven absolutely brilliantly this race. It's even with the safety cars. He got the pit stop right. He going for the one stop. That made the right call. Of course, the last safety car changed it onto the soft. And Mikey and Skarma both battling back there. But here comes Mike into the final sector. The confetti shooting off, the fireworks are going off for Mike. Coming around the final corner. And Mike, absolutely brilliant season for Mike, and he wins the OTL Championship in
Well,
absolute fantastic form.
so
F. Lewis
weight
P7
changes, and I think Pedro did. Pedro stayed in the pocket. He got P6 in the end, but
and well done.
the story of the day. Well done, young Michael. That is the title.
Mike is world champion of OTL, and
And a very dominant man for the season. Had a few miss-ups and a few solid races as well. Some guys put him under pressure. And I think we should also talk about Rage. I think he's still going to look good for P2 in the championship, and he had a terrible start of the season. I don't think Rage was near the podium for about the first 6 or 7 races, so he's tried valiantly. But time penalties at Mexico, of course, are hurtful. So who are we chatting? Mike, F. Lewis and SPW. So I got it right, F. Lewis and Mike. I got my P1 and P2 right.
Yep.
And Mikey was so
F. Lewis,
close.
SPW.
Ah!
Yep. And he takes away maximum points as well from that.
Yeah, fastest lap by a good distance as well.
Do it.
Very, very good drive. I suppose we should get them in for a chat. Let me just add them all in. Got
Trying it for 2 seasons now, in the second season of trying, he has done it. He came awfully close at the end of last season. It's come to a bit of poor luck, of course, in Abu Dhabi and the start of the season, but this season he's been absolutely faultless. And
yes, I agree.
Get them in for interviews. I'm sure he'll be absolutely buzzing after that one. I'm sure F. Lewis and SPW will be absolutely buzzing after a crazy race.
Great race from SPW as well. We're mentioning Pedro.
Yeah.
SPW started, I think, P11, so to get P3, I think, is an absolute solid job. F. Lewis, of course. I think my words of encouragement a week or two ago has definitely kicked his arse into another gear, and he started to score very consistently again as well, bringing home a P2.
Out of my mouth in that race. Absolutely crazy stuff. Great respect from absolutely everyone in the battles, but here is the man of the moment. He is.
I think we'll go back to first this time, though, Jensen. I know we usually go first, but I think Mike can have his moment at the end.
You can see it off, can't I?
Do you wish to chat, or shall I chat?
I'll chat, I guess. To our top 3, absolutely insane race, and 3rd place, SPW, absolutely class drive from you there, and absolutely, what was it? SPW drive, I'd call it there. Absolutely sent on absolutely everyone, and yeah, fought like a lion, as Fernando Alonso would say. But yeah, talk us through how your race went, and yeah.
Thank you, GT3 fellow champion. First step was okay. Had quite a messy first lap, but didn't get any wing damage, and then really slow stint on the mediums, and then I had 2 fresh sets of softs, so managed to do okay.
Yeah, the safety cars really shaped up the race there. Of course, you having to go to the softs quite early for a 2-stop. Was that in your books, or were you quite annoyed?
It was always gonna be a 2-stop.
But yeah, after that safety car, you really fought through, absolutely passing absolutely everyone in your path there. Of course, the late safety car helped you on the 2-stop, and of course, having no penalties, of course, everyone in the top 3 with no penalties kept it really well. But in the end, did you think you could have got F. Lewis in the end, potentially, or do you think it was just too out of range?
It would have been a big dive bomb to sort of get him. To be fair, couldn't really get him normally. Just my front left was overheating the whole race, so there's not much I could do. But I couldn't really overtake Lewis.
Well, you got a podium today, and we've got 3 races left this season. We've got Sao Paulo, Jeddah, and Imola. 3 really, really great tracks. Of course, Jeddah being brand new, and of course, Imola new to the league racing scene. You sure you probably pick up something even better than just a podium out of those 3?
Well, something needs to happen to the top 3 for it to happen, but I'm the first podium in Brazil, so.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh yeah. When was that? Season 1, wasn't it? You got that podium.
First race, I think. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, of course you got driver of the day last season as well. So you seem to like Brazil. I'd probably book that as one you're probably favoured to probably win, hopefully. But yeah, congratulations on P3, and yeah, enjoy your P3 and your evening as well.
Thanks, I apologize.
No problem, Stephen. But we move on to F. Lewis in P2, and that's a return to the podium after a couple of races off it, and yeah, you seem to say the last few races you've started to come back alive with the consistency but yeah, talk us through how your race went, and of course
well, it was just more or less hope for the best. Half an hour practice, not bad. Pick a setup, go with the setup, see how I feel, do a few practice laps. Strategy was copy Mike, which worked. I was about to pit and I saw Ridge and Mike didn't pit. I was like, I'll just follow them. Just followed whatever happened to them. So then I was quite lucky. Ridge got the penalties, and I really want to say this. I had 2 warnings from the second lap, and I didn't pick a warning for 34 laps, which was a bit nerve-wracking to say the least. It was mostly just try stay in the DRS and try not get a penalty the whole race. Just want to say big props to Stephen for nearly taking us out. He's like absolutely sending it, and I was just like confused. I just saw an Alpine go flying past.
You can expect him to do that. You have to expect him to do that, to be honest.
As soon as he gets into the 5 temps, you're just like leaving the extra space just in case. Yeah.
But yeah, P2, that's only your 4th podium this season, along with your 2 wins. But you got the last 3 races.
Blame Mike.
But you got the last 3 races. Plenty to fight for in the championships. I think for P5 it's quite alive between the likes of Adam, Rob Wills, Scar Manelli, Mataman. All pretty close.
I'm more concerned on the constructors.
Oh yeah, Alfa Romeo is, I think, still leading after today, so it's still.
But Pedro on the team's a bit difficult.
Pedro got P6 today, done a great job.
Yeah.
Scored some good points.
But yeah, 3 races to go and the constructors really close. Do you think you have a chance of managing to keep the lead? Winning it?
Well, hopefully just Mike bottles it and then we've got a chance.
Well, congratulations on P2.
Yeah.
Another well-deserved podium this season for yourself. And now, I think he's probably been waiting to say something. Or does you want to say anything, Mike, or do you want me to ask the questions?
Well, first I just want to say congrats to Stephen and Lewis. Lewis actually was probably the 2nd quickest driver on the grid today, so the P2 is definitely well deserved, and I don't know how Stephen ended up on the podium, to be honest, so that's, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to ask the questions anyway, but Mike, you are the champion of OTL Season 3. It has been a couple of seasons coming. Absolute class of your own this season, and taking the championship with 3 races to go. But yeah, talk us through that race, because that was absolutely in control all the way through, it seemed.
Yeah, it was kind of like get a good start, but then somehow Jamie got an absolute welly of a start on cold tyres. I don't know how that happened, but I was kind of caught off guard, but I got through kind of the first 2 corners okay, so I was kind of like, right, that's fine. I was kind of sticking with Jamie. Then he pulled off into the pits, and then after that it was kind of just like keep Lewis out of DRS range, and I should be able to kind of go at my own pace then. But then I think on lap 4, I think it was, I noticed that my fuel was like I started on 1.2 and I was down to like 0.9 on the 4th lap, and I was like, oh my god. So I had to like go into fuel saving mode for a bit, and then eventually I think Rage got Lewis, and then they may have had a moment, I don't know, but the gap increased like by 2 seconds in one lap or something. And yeah, I think it was the safety cars gave me a big fright at certain times. I mean, the last one I was kind of like, oh my god, it came out the second I crossed the pit lane, like cutting to turn back now. So that one kind of scared me because I knew the softs would, like fresh softs would be rapid at the end, but luckily I held off.
Now a big question is, of course, you managed to hold absolutely everyone off. You managed to get the gap in the end as well, and you took pole, win, and fastest lap along with it. But when did it start to sink in, knowing that you're going to win the championship on those final few laps?
Well, to be honest, I knew I was gonna win it today. Like, I don't want to sound like a bollocks there, but I knew I had it in the bag today. So it was more so just a run my own race type thing, and I'd get it over the line, which I did. You know, I got out in front, I got my pole, and like obviously the spin in qualifying was a bit of a scary moment. I don't know if you've caught it on board, but other than that, I think I was like pretty much on rails the entire lap. I mean the race, so it was pretty. I think once I got out in front, I was pretty happy with, let's do this.
Well, there's not much else to say about that. It was quite the race from you today. Chris, do you have anything to say for the three drivers?
No, just congratulations, Michael. I think
Thank you.
reiterate what Jensen says. It's been a long time coming.
3
Probably.
years.
But finally, you've got it over the line, and
Yeah.
kudos to SPW and F. Lewis as well. They had a good bit of tussling throughout their races. The podium never came easy for them. I know the safety car and the penalties for the drivers behind, but it's not like the racing in between that was easy driving. They were in a lot of battles, so I think it was a good way to see the drivers' title be completed, and it maybe just opens the arms for some more people to maybe get a bit more aggressive over the last couple of races, within reason, of course. But there's still things at stake, so let's see what it does.
Yeah, we got 3 races left, and the constructors it's not much in it anymore. It's only about 30 points between Williams and Alfa Romeo with 3 races to go. It could be anything can happen.
Dun dun dun.
But
Like absolutely smashes us.
surely you're surely both you, Mike and Lewis, won't stop pushing. You'll both be trying to get the best out of the last 3
100%.
for that. But yeah, absolutely mega job from all 3 of you, and of course 3 years in the making for you, Mike, for that championship.
Thank you,
But
Stevie.
yeah, I think that's
Is that us for the evening?
Driver of
got
the day, and
driver
I
of the
want
day,
to say
yeah.
something also.
Oh, driver
got a
of the
speech,
day. Oh,
yeah.
this, I was thinking about this, Jensen, and
I don't know.
I don't know
You've
either.
made the call.
Well, can I make a speech before you start
Yeah,
wrapping
that's
up?
good.
Okay,
Go on.
so first of all, I have my big list here. I would like to thank
how
Pro
was your
Noxious
race?
for giving me my first ever league racing drive.
Oh, God.
I'd like to thank Jensen for beating me all these years. I would like to thank Chris and Adam for sticking up with me all these years. I would like to thank Nelly for spurring me on to win this season. I would also like to thank Nelly for breaking my heart last season. I would like to thank Stephen for giving me physical support, let's put it that way. And yeah, thanks to everyone really, but mainly Chris and Adam, especially Adam, for giving me my contract for this year.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm very, very.
Fast ratio.
What? What did you say?
Oh,
Let's
He
not
wants
do
you to
that.
hold the fat ratio.
Let's not.
counter ratio.
Let's not hold any ratios.
Oh, wait, I
So-
forgot one last person I need to thank.
Oh, one last person.
I need to thank who my heart goes out to most, Mitchell. My boy Mitchell. I couldn't do it without him. I'm sad he wasn't here today to
South
celebrate
African.
with me. My South African brother, Eminem, all those years on comms. I couldn't have done it without him.
So,
Thank you, Mitchell.
on that note, Jensen, do you? Oh shit! Oh, excuse me. Driver of the day. I don't. swear.
Okay, I'm going to have to either decide. To be honest, it's got to be. I've got 3 names in mind. Sorry, Michael, but F-Lewis,
I don't need the
SPW,
points
and
anymore.
Pedro.
That was the 3 names that I had in mind.
I called it. Pedro was gonna have a good race today.
They kept very well at the end. There, he only had 6 seconds of penalties. He probably got P4 without penalties, but he still did quite well. Of course, SPW from the back on the alternate strategy.
Yeah, I think
And-
out of them 3, I think I would say SPW probably stands out. Just that little extra because it came from outside that top 10. F Lewis, of course, further back as well in his starting position. I think SPW just a little further.
Yeah, so I think, is that it? Confirm SPW driver of the day in the Mexican Grand Prix.
My
So-
number 1 Alpine driver.
On the driver of the day call, well done, Mr. SPW. OTA will wrap it up for another Monday evening and with Mike as their season 3 champion.
Time to get some Latinas.
Yeah, be
It is
sure
not
to tune
over.
into.
And
Yeah.
there will be more racing next Monday with a constructors fight, P2 and P3 in the championship still to
Of
be
course.
settled.
OTL Elite as well on Wednesdays. Be
Yes.
sure to tune into that.
For the same track, Mexico were in line this week. So until then, take care.
I get to stay for my party.